Hello, wonderful explorers. Have you ever thought about all the amazing animals that share our world? From the tiniest ladybug to the biggest blue whale, every creature is special. They live in incredible places: hot deserts, deep jungles, and icy lands. We're all part of one big family on planet Earth, and it's our job to look after each other. Today, we're heading to Antarctica, a land of sparkling ice and brave animals. We'll meet a little penguin and see how kindness can make a huge difference. So, put on your imaginary snow boots. Our story is about to begin. Let's discover how even small acts of kindness can help our animal friends. Far at the bottom of the world lies Antarctica, a vast frozen wilderness where the sun barely rises during the long winter months. Here, the land is covered in endless sheets of ice, and the air is crisp and biting, colder than anywhere else on Earth. This is the coldest place on Earth, a land where only the toughest creatures can survive. The wind sweeps across the ice, carrying snow that never seems to stop falling. In this harsh environment, emperor penguins gather in huge colonies, standing close together to share warmth and protect each other from the freezing winds. Their black and white feathers stand out against the endless white, a sign of life in a world of ice. One evening, as the sky darkened, heavy clouds gathered above the colony. Suddenly, a fierce snowstorm swept in, turning the peaceful landscape into a swirling world of white and gray. The penguins moved quickly, gathering their fluffy chicks into the center of the group. The adults formed a protective circle, their bodies pressed tightly together, creating a living shield to block the icy wind and snow. Inside the huddle, it was surprisingly warm and safe. The chicks nestled close, comforted by the gentle sounds of their parents and the soft rustle of feathers all around them. But one curious chick, named Pip, couldn't resist peeking out from the safety of the huddle. He wanted to see the storm for himself, to watch the snow dance in the wild wind. The wind howled louder than ever, swirling snowflakes all around. Pip felt a shiver run through him, not just from the cold, but from the sheer power and mystery of the storm outside. Quickly, Pip snuggled closer to his mum, feeling her warmth and steady heartbeat. He had no idea that this wild night would soon lead him on an unexpected journey, one that would change him forever. In the land of ice and storms, sometimes adventure finds us when we least expect it, and even the smallest penguin can discover something truly extraordinary. As the storm raged, Pip's curiosity led him to step outside the huddle. The wind pushed him, and suddenly he tumbled away from his family. All around him was white, snow, fog, and swirling wind. Pip called out, but only the storm answered. He tried to find his way back, but everything looked the same. Cold and scared, Pip huddled down, his tiny chirps growing weaker. He missed his family and the warmth of the colony. Tears froze on his cheeks as he grew tired and hopeless. Alone in the snow, Pip felt smaller than ever. But sometimes hope arrives when we need it most. Not far away, a team of wildlife rescuers watched the storm from their research station. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows and sending shivers down their spines. They knew that in such harsh conditions, survival was a matter of life and death for the wildlife they were there to protect. Dr. Aris, the team leader, spotted a tiny heat signature on the thermal camera, an animal alone in the blizzard. The screen showed a small, flickering dot, indicating a creature in distress. "We've got a stranded chick," he announced. The team sprang into action, their training kicking in as they prepared their gear. Every second counted in the freezing temperatures. Bundled in parkas, Dr. Aris and Lena set out on a snowmobile, guided by the camera. The snowmobile roared to life, cutting through the snow as they raced against time. The wind was fierce, but they pressed on, determined to help. Each step was a struggle, the snow and wind pushing back against their every move. At last, they found Pip, a shivering ball of fluff in the snow. The tiny penguin chick was barely visible against the white expanse, its small body trembling from the cold. Lena knelt down, speaking softly. "It's okay, little one. We're here to help." Her voice was calm and soothing, a stark contrast to the raging storm around them. Carefully, they wrapped Pip in a warm blanket. The soft fabric provided much-needed warmth, and the chick's shivering began to subside. Pip was barely moving, but he felt the warmth and gentle touch. The rescuers' hands were steady and reassuring, offering a lifeline in the freezing wilderness. The rescuers placed him in a special carrier, ready to bring him to safety. The insulated carrier would protect Pip from the elements during the journey back. Even in the harshest places, kindness can shine through. The rescuers' determination and compassion were a beacon of hope in the storm, proving that even the smallest lives are worth saving. Back at the station, Lena gently placed Pip in a cozy incubator. The warmth chased away the cold, and Pip slowly opened his eyes. A veterinarian checked him over. "He's cold and tired, but he's a strong little fighter." The team fed Pip a special formula, and he drank eagerly. For the first time in hours, Pip felt safe and cared for. The scientists watched over him, making sure he was comfortable. Pip's strength began to return, and his eyes grew brighter. He was surrounded by warmth, kindness, and hope. Sometimes a little help is all it takes to turn things around. Pip was on the road to recovery. As Pip rested, the scientists explained what makes penguins so amazing. "Penguins have a thick layer of blubber, like a cozy sweater," said Dr. Aris. "And their feathers are even more impressive," added Lena. "They have 2 layers, soft down for warmth and stiff waterproof feathers on top. This super suit keeps penguins warm and dry, even in icy water." Pip, feeling better, began to preen his feathers, making sure his suit was perfect. Penguins spend lots of time keeping their feathers in top shape. Nature has given them everything they need to survive the cold. Pip was a tiny marvel, built for adventure in Antarctica. Over the next days, Pip became the star of the research station. Everyone was enchanted by his playful spirit and curious nature. Each morning, the scientists would check on him, eager to see what new things he had learned overnight. Pip's presence brought a sense of excitement and joy to the cold, remote outpost. The team fed him carefully, making sure he got all the nutrients he needed to grow strong and healthy. They watched him gain weight and become more active each day. To help him develop his natural instincts, the scientists even set up a little penguin playground, complete with icy slides and snow mounds for Pip to explore. Pip splashed in a shallow pool, learning how to swim and dive just like a wild penguin. He climbed on rocks, practiced balancing, and played in the water, all under the watchful eyes of his human friends. Every day, he grew more confident and agile, mastering the skills he would need to survive on his own. The scientists knew that, as much as they loved Pip, he would eventually need to return to the wild. So, they gradually kept their distance, allowing him to spend more time alone in the snowy environment. This helped Pip get used to being independent, preparing him for life outside the station. They recorded Pip's unique chirps and calls, hoping that these sounds would help him reconnect with his family when the time came. The team carefully documented his progress, making notes about his behavior and vocalizations, all in the hope of giving him the best possible chance at a reunion. Finally, after days of waiting, the weather cleared and the snowstorm passed. The sky was bright and the air was crisp. Perfect conditions for Pip's next big step. The team knew that Pip was ready to leave the safety of the research station and begin his journey home. The team felt a mix of happiness and sadness. They were proud of how far Pip had come, but it was hard to say goodbye to their little friend. Each scientist took a moment to wish him well, knowing that they had given him the best start possible. They gently placed Pip in his carrier, making sure he was comfortable and safe. This was the most important journey of his young life, and everyone wanted to make sure he was ready for the adventure ahead. Pip was now fluffy, healthy, and full of energy. His eyes sparkled with excitement, and his feathers gleamed in the sunlight. He was eager to explore the world beyond the research station. It was finally time for a reunion, the moment everyone had been hoping for. Pip was ready to find his family and start his new life in the wild. The snowmobile glided across the sparkling ice carrying Pip and the rescue team. The penguin colony appeared, a bustling city of black and white. Dr. Eris opened the carrier, and Pip stepped out, hearing the familiar sounds of home. The team played a recording of Pip's chirps, hoping his parents would hear. 2 adult penguins waddled toward him, calling out. Pip ran to them, chirping with excitement. It was his mama and papa. They nuzzled him, welcoming him back with loving calls. Pip snuggled between them, finally home. The rescue team watched from afar, their hearts full of joy. Their mission was a success. The little lost penguin was home at last. Pip's reunion reminds us why protecting animals matters. We don't have to be scientists to help. Everyone can make a difference. Antarctica is fragile, and its animals need our care. By learning about climate change and making small changes, we help protect these icy homes. When we visit nature, let's be respectful guests. Leave no trash, don't disturb animals, and stay on trails. Kindness and respect are powerful tools for protecting our planet. Let's promise to be kind to animals and do our part to keep Earth beautiful. Like Pip's rescuers, our small actions can make a big difference for animals everywhere.